Okay, I feel 10 pounds lighter. I'll put some Purell on. Yeah, back in the day when we had a pandemic, everyone's let their guard down now. So let's put my seatbelt on. Car won't start without the seatbelt. I always tell my daughter. That's what my mother told me too. She's like, car's not gonna start without the seatbelt. I'm like, okay. But then in the 80s, like most of the time we just sat in the back, and every time we went around the corner, we would just skid into one side in the back seat. It was fun. Okay. All right, I feel good. I got my cup of tea, Beatles cup. I'm so glad. Oh look, Cruise America. The worst, the worst RVs. Nobody knows how to drive those. Seriously, I think I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, if my van ever went to like purgatory, it would just be surrounded by Cruise America vans. Yeah, I've seen them collide. People don't know how to do like a left turn. It's like a 126-point turn just for them to get out of a parking space. It's just, and they're so big, they take up the entire lane. And yeah, people that rent those have never driven RVs before, so stay away from them. Keep your safety distance. Anyway, yeah, beautiful drive, just very flat Idaho right now. And then I'm gonna go up. Yeah, I think it'd just be a chill day today. I don't know if we're gonna do anything. My friend's friend is in town as well, so there'll be a couple people at the house. But yeah, it's nice. I didn't even expect to I just thought I was just gonna live in the wilderness and ride my mountain bike every day. And then I'm like, oh, I actually have friends up here that are in town. So yeah, it's good. I don't know, I need an international trip. I got a plan. I wanna go to Thailand or something. I've been there 9 times between 2000 and 2004. I haven't been back in 20 years. But I'd love to figure out a backpacking trip because I've got my backpack, my Osprey, which I think is a 40-liter. Although I want to get like a regular all one color Osprey, because this one's like an actual hiking backpacking one, and I want to get a proper travel backpack. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, maybe not now in the middle of the summer, maybe later in the year. And I want to take my friend with me. He's never been to Thailand before, so I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out what's going on, and maybe I can finagle a trip. I have a ton of contacts with the travel industry. So I used to update travel books like Lonely Planet and write for travel magazines and airline magazines and travel bureaus, Associated Press and all that stuff. Back in the day, that's how I funded my travel. And so I'm a journalist. I'm a classically trained journalist. I have a degree in journalism, media law, political science, economics, Canadian studies, like all of this stuff I studied in school. And world history, which when I traveled, I was like, well, they didn't teach me anything in school. Go visit the places you read about, and you'll learn something new. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I decided to travel writing forever, and I'm gonna get around these porta potties. Come on, Prue, get around the shitters. But yeah, so it was really great way to I had my job in Japan, which paid well, and I never spent any of the money in Japan that I made. I just banked it, and then I used my travel to fund my travel job to fund my travel. And I went to 40 countries in 4 years, including Thailand 9 times, because Bangkok was like my hub. So I'd always fly in. After 9/11, I'd fly from Japan to Bangkok, and then I would fly on my British passport, because it was a bit weird being American after 9/11. I didn't want to have every dinner with all the backpackers to be about Bush and weapons of mass destruction and the Iraqi war and all this stuff. I just want to talk about travel. Where's everybody gone? Where can you inspire me to go? And yeah, I didn't want to because every Brit, New Zealander, Australian all had their opinion about America, and none of them had ever been. So I just was British, and I had a Canadian flag on my backpack. And that's pretty much what I did. So, but yeah, I mean, I just traveled on so then Bangkok was my hub, and that way I could just go, it was cheaper to fly from Tokyo to Bangkok and then buy a ticket in Bangkok and then just fly wherever I wanted to go. It was a lot cheaper than booking it from Tokyo to, Vietnam or Tokyo to New Delhi. It was easier to go Tokyo, Bangkok, and then buy a ticket, spend a few days in Thailand, and then go, go over there. But I've been all over. I've been to the hill country. I've been down to the islands like Koh Samui. I've been to the full moon party, Koh Phangan. And I don't drink, smoke, do drugs, nothing. So I'm there drinking my bottled water. This is great. Everybody's tripping and fire twirling and drinking Red Bull and vodka out of buckets with 10 other people. And I'm just there yeah, this is great. Eating a fruit salad. And so, yeah, and then I went to Koh Phangan. Oh, that's Koh Phangan. Then I went to Koh Phi Phi, and I got certified for PADI certification, which, to be honest, sorry, my ears are popping. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of scuba diving. I can scuba dive. I've scuba dove you know, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, you know, like the Caribbean. Not a fan of it. It's a production, and I think it's harder now because of my, you know, because of my spine disability. I don't think holding, you know, being able to walk down to the shore and swim out. Like, I like shore diving. I like to swim out, you know, but having to carry the tank, I mean, it was hard. And when I was in Bonaire, 2018, is before the big injury, before the assault that destroyed this hand. But I could already feel that, like, this is a bad idea to be carrying this oxygen tank. I don't like to jump off boats into the water. I have this fear that the top of the oxygen tank is going to, like, sever my spinal cord. It's like my toxic trait. I much prefer to, like, waddle out or, you know, just kind of climb down the ladder on the side of a boat. I don't like to do the whole, you know, flip backwards. I just have a fear. When I was doing my original, you know, training back in 2000, like, they had me, you know, just step off, like, you know, put the fins on and just step off the boat with the oxygen tank. And I was a little bit too close, and I could feel the instructor just push me off because the bottom of the tank was going to hit the boat and then slam into the back of my neck. It's a real fear, people. Like, but, you know, I like being underwater. You feel like you're flying, but it is a production. But I'm actually a very good scuba diver. I've done rescue diving courses. I've done, you know, a bunch of different things. I've just, you know, dove in a swamp in Texas, even, you know, gone that far. I just don't enjoy it. It's expensive, and you don't really get that much time underwater, you know. But I like snorkeling, so. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to be able to just go, like, I was like, man, if we could, I take my friend, we'll do a trip, we'll go to Singapore, we'll go up to Kuala Lumpur, we'll drive up from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur through Melaka, which is a beautiful little town in Malaysia, go to Kuala Lumpur, and then fly from there to Koh Samui, jump around the islands, do Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, go over to Krabi on the mainland, do some rock climbing, you know, get a catamaran, and then go over to Phuket for like a minute because it's a shithole. No, it's just all military. Like Pattaya Beach and Phuket are like mostly military. But Tim, my boyfriend when I was in Japan, like he was a combat medic, and he used to go down to Thailand all the time for Cobra Gold and some other stuff. And then he was in the Missing in Action program where he would go dig for remains in Vietnam to kind of bring closure to the American, you know, families of the American GIs that were out there, trying to find dog tags in you know, what is it, like markets and stuff, and trying to find remains, and then they would do DNA analysis and just see where they could find, you know, people that were missing in the Vietnam War. Kind of cool. Not cool about war, but just cool that they were finding people. But yeah, so then, yeah, so I mean, then go from Phuket over to Koh Phi Phi, and then Koh Lanta is pretty much all diving. But like I went to Koh Lanta, I've just been there one time, and I've been to Koh Phi Phi about 6-7 times. And somewhere, I think it's either Krabi or Koh Phi Phi, there's a bar owned by some like Australian guy with a Thai boxing ring in the middle, and the bar goes like around the edge, and you can just pay like $5 and fight a Thai boxer, and it's always some drunk Irish guy or some 7-foot-tall Norwegian. But then in Bangkok, you got Khao San Road, which was like the old backpacking. Now, I went there 25 years ago, before everyone had cell phones and Instagram and influencers and all this stuff. It was like the golden age. Like, all the older people were like the hippies from the 60s and 70s. And then you go to like Goa, India, and it's very similar to Thailand. It's like, you know, again, hippies from the 60s, a lot of Europeans, and it's very Portuguese influence. So the food is different, the colors of the clothing and the buildings are very Portuguese, and, you know, and like the locals, you know, they're just a very different like version of India. And it's great. I had a little Royal Enfield, little 1965 Royal Enfield that I rode. I don't have any pictures. I lost everything in the flood, but I wish I had my photos. I'm gonna get around this truck as well. Oh, okay, I know where I am now. 2 hours, 21 minutes. So I have to text my friend in a bit and be like, I'm on my way. Like, I already took a shower. I went to Planet Fitness this morning in Idaho Falls. Beautiful Idaho Falls. Slept like a freaking rock in the Walmart. Didn't want to get up this morning. It was cold. It was great. But yeah, that was a long, long travel day yesterday. I recovered pretty quickly from my travel days. I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I'm like, he's like, you're going to be so tired. I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm, you know, on the home stretch, final flight. So I had 4 states. Yeah, so Texas, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Montana. 5 states in a day and a half. 2 flights. What else? Yeah, 2 flights. 5 states, 2 flights, 2 long drives, and then I'm there. And that's just, to me, that's just a normal Monday. So I'm gonna get around this person. I don't like this because you can kind of see, but you can't really see. Okay. Sorry. This truck will kick rocks up at me. And yay! Woo! Go Prudence! You are a speed racer. You're a speedy little shit. So anyway, this stretch of the road between like North Idaho Falls and whatever is above Idaho Falls, Twin Falls or something, and West Yellowstone, it's a national forest, the Targhee National Forest. There's tons and tons of fire roads and pullouts, so you have no problem finding somewhere to boondock. There's no cell reception up here, really, between like a little, maybe 10-20 miles up between there and West Yellowstone. West Yellowstone is 100 miles from Idaho Falls. But up here you'll see like signs that say like the Great Fire of 1912, you know, like they put markers down of when like this place burned down. Like over there. Yeah, like the new trees, and these trees were planted in 1993, so they have all these signs. You learn something on the drive, which I think America needs to do more of. Need to do more, like, not just historical markers that nobody ever stops at, but just put some big ass signs that I can read from here without putting my glasses on. And like here it says like these new trees were planted in 1981. That's really cool. Then you can see the difference. You can see like the high school kids, the college kids, the grandparents, you know, the creepy uncle, you know, the ex-laws. So anyway, but yeah, there's tons of BLM. You just pull off into any of these roads and you find somewhere to park. So when I came up here 2 years ago to Yellowstone, yeah, I wasn't here last year. I came up here 2 years ago. I just parked in a lay-by right before you got into West Yellowstone. But now they're putting more like, you know, restriction signs up, especially around Big Sky, the whole no overnight parking thing. It's very bizarre because it's public land, but they just don't want you parking right by the road. Maybe for bears, I'm not sure. And I'm stuck behind this Sprinter. Come on, dude. Yeah, the laybys are also for people like this guy in front of me to pull over. Like if you're leading the parade in Montana, Colorado, some other places, if you have more than 5 cars behind you, then you need to pull over and let them go. Like if you're, you know, leading the parade. So yeah, I can't see too far ahead of me. His license plate says pianos, so I'm guessing it's not a van lifer. It's just somebody that has a van filled with pianos. Anyway, but yeah, so that's it. That's kind of my day. Just driving. I think I'll get there about 10:45. So I don't know, just hang out for the day. It's nice to kind of chill and listen to my friend's music. He's writing a couple songs, so I'm trying to inspire. One of them jokingly, like they're parody songs. I was like, you gotta write a song about like decorative panties. I'll tell you something. First of all, panties is like bad. Like this is one of those cringe words, like moist, you know, not good. But anyway, I said, look, decorative panties are not good for hiking. Like it's just, they're not comfortable. Like I rode a whole day at Big Sky with my decorative panties on, and the whole time I'm just pulling a wedgie out. Like you gotta wear your granny panties or your period panties. Like that's what you need to wear when you're working out. When you know, some people just don't wear anything, but I'm like, I can't do that. Like I need some sort of force field. But yeah, so I'm like, write songs about that. So anyway, okay, now I'm out of cell reception. I'm about 126 miles from Bozeman, 2 hours, 16 minutes. Easy drive, I just want to get around this dude. It's just hard to see when there's like nothing in front of you, and like, yeah, the accidents here are pretty insane. I can't get around. You can't gauge how fast they're going on the other side. Montana drivers, I'm in Idaho right now, but Montana drivers are pretty bad. Anyway, but yeah, so I babbled on long enough. Let me just concentrate, and yeah, good to be back. Even though it's a kind of a short trip, less than 2 weeks. But then I'll be back. I have 2 weeks, and the end of August I've got 3 weeks before I have to be home. But I can just fly out of Bozeman and park my van outside my friend's house for 3 days. And then, so if I can get that arrangement done, then it will be super helpful. And then I can just fly in and out of Salt Lake City, in and out of Bozeman rather. And it's the same amount of time, because Salt Lake City to Vegas, and then I have a 7-hour layover, and then to Houston. So Frontier from Bozeman to Vegas with a layover, and then to Houston. The other option is that I just book Frontier, like, you know, like I just book the $46 ticket just schedule it where I just figure out my own layover in Vegas and just fly on 2 different airlines, that would actually be fine too. You know, so I don't know. I got to figure it out. It's probably, yeah, I got to figure out what the flights are. I just don't want to get stuck. Well, the summer it's going to be fine. I mean, if it rains and stuff, it's fine. But yeah, so I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for that. So probably just thinking out loud, blah blah blah. So I've got another 2.5 hours to babble to you guys. So what I'm going to do, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so pretty. It's a little cloudy. But yeah, what I'll do is I will book the flight from Frontier. Well, I've got next weekend's flights booked, but the weekend after that, for like the 18th of July, because I go home to see my daughter, right? So, but you know, she's been in this, been this way since she was 1 year old. So, like, she knows kind of like there's always mommy's house, daddy's house. But yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll book the Frontier flight and the return as bookends, and then I'll have the Spirit flight in between. So I'll probably fly like Friday morning, because it's only like a 1.5 hour flight, 2 hour flight. So and then I'll have like a 8 hour layover. I don't mind taking the midnight flight. The red eye's fine, whatever. But taking the midnight flight from Vegas and getting in at 5 in the morning the next day, it's like a $30 flight. So I can do that. I'm gonna get used to like my little routine of sleeping in my car. The car is set up as a car camper as well, so I'll sleep in the cell phone lot for like 4 hours and then get on with my day. So I can survive that. It's only like it's only twice a month. So okay, where am I at now? I have no idea. Okay, well, I babbled on long enough. So yeah, just keep staying tuned and I don't choke and whatever. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of these videos. Yeah, so I mean, I've had quite a bit of a year. I've had Vegas and the Midwest, Tennessee, and all that, and then I have California, Arizona, Utah. So yeah, I've covered quite a lot of ground. Actually, let me see. Texas, obviously, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada. And then I haven't even been in Colorado yet. Not even touched Colorado. Okay, so that's 5 states, Nevada, and then Utah, Montana, and then I had Arkansas, Tennessee. That's right, because you skip Alabama. So Arkansas, Tennessee, because they have West Memphis, which is Arkansas, and then Memphis, which is Tennessee. Okay, hang on, let me do this again. Texas, Arizona. I gotta think of the map now. Been to 48 states already. Okay, Texas, Arizona, California, Nevada, and then Utah, Montana, New Mexico. Did I go? Yeah, it's New Mexico, Montana. So that's 5. And then I've got Texas, and I have Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana. So 9 states. That's all. Really? All I've done this year is 9 states. Oh, well, no, last year, that's right. I was in Annapolis, Maryland last year for the boat show and stuff. Okay, yeah. I was like, I'm getting confused on my years. Occupational hazard. All right, passing lane. Come on, Prue. Get past these dudes. Seriously, rear wheel drive. I gotta get an oil change. I'm like getting low on the oil. Come on, Prue. Whenever you see drowned campfires, you're pretty much on BLM land. You see a big yellow sign that says drowned campfires. But anyway, yeah, really, really pretty. Like I said, tons of fire roads up here, tons of places you could like, hide out, little Unabomber, shacks and stuff. But a lot of birch trees, and yeah, these are all birch trees. These are chopsticks. Yeah, these are. You want to, harvest some chopsticks? Just go here. But anyway, so yeah,